Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Conder Cinema Showcase. I'm your host Jerry, and today we're taking a look at a cool 2001 heist movie called The Score. So if you're into crime stories, tension, and incredible legendary acting, this one is for you, so you might want to stick around. Let's dive right into it. So the basic setup is it stars Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, and Marlon Brando, the three generations of insane acting skills. So, the story is following Nick Wells, played by Robert De Niro, a professional thief who's been in the heist business for about 25 years and he is ready to retire. And he runs a jazz club in Montreal, and he just wants to live a quiet, subtle life up until his old partner Max, played by Brando, convinces him to do one last heist with him, one last job, and this is stealing a priceless French scepter that is worth about $30 million from the Montreal Custom House. This heist is a two-man job, meaning he had to work with another thief called Jack Teller, played by Edward Norton, a young, ambitious, and cocky thief who's already in the place working as a janitor. So following this movie, it goes along about trust, timing, and seeing who can take one step ahead of each other. So this movie is directed by Frank Oz, and that name was first familiar to me when I heard it, and so I dug a little bit deeper and found out that he has worked in The Muppets, Sesame Street, and my favorite one, he was the voice of Yoda in Star Wars.
Thing that I say.
What? And also his directions are known for being planned and calm, and I think you can see that very clearly in this movie, The Score, because every step feels very deliberate. It all goes smoothly. So yeah, it feels like every step has its purpose, and I think that's what Frank Oz was trying to do, and I think he did it very beautifully. So this movie is about process more than spectacle. So right off the bat, let me tell you this: the pacing of the movie is very slow, like really, really slow, only at first though. So it takes its time, setting up the characters, the motivations, the relationships. You'll understand why they are the way they are, why they do the things they do. Some people might get a little bit impatient during this part because it doesn't jump straight into the action. Especially if you're a person like me, you might get pretty bored of it very quickly. But I think that's kind of the point, you know it's more of a slow burner thriller than just some action movie. It's giving you the time and the space to actually connect with the characters. You understand the characters at this time, and once you do, I think you will go, you're ready to stay through the chaos of the heist. So let's talk about the parts that really grab your attention. The performance is the strongest part about this movie. I mean, you can't put De Niro and Edward in the same movie and you can't not expect it to be phenomenal. These are two legends we're talking about. And De Niro brings like a calm, precise energy, and it's very believable that he is very experienced. He's been doing this for a very long time. I mean, he has worked as a thief for like about 25 years, and they make sure that you understand that throughout the movie, through his, insane planning. It's impeccable, and his attention to everything up unto the smallest details. While on the other hand, Norton is more unpredictable and energetic, and watching these two different characters interact on your screen is very funny and it's very, catching. So you see Norton challenging De Niro's control, and that chemistry, it keeps you watching. And then comes the heist sequence. And oh man, does this part really hit. The tension is perfect. You are on the edge of your seat the entire time. Your heart is literally beating faster, and the stakes feel real. It feels like you're risking your life with them. It's smart, it's suspenseful, and everything in the movie was building up to pay off. All the calm moments that we've been talking about the first hour of the movie. it all pays off at the end because that tension, you needed to save up all your energy for this moment, so watching these professionals execute the plan is both thrilling and satisfying, and it's just very beautiful. Of course, as I said before, it's not perfect, but this movie is like a slow burner up until the heist. For about the first hour of the movie, you're mostly watching the setup, the planning, the character development, their interactions with each other, the city of Montreal, and most of all, you're also seeing the Nick's quiet life. And this moment, you'd understand why he wants to retire. His reasons. So for viewers who want constant attention, constant action, and excitement, this part might feel a little bit dull for you. It doesn't really, grab your attention right away. But honestly, the patient makes the payoff even better. When the heist finally starts, all that tension comes flooding back. So the heist itself, as I said before, it is brilliant. The pacing it picks up, and it's so realistic. It's not over the top explosions and Hollywood gimmicks. Every move matters. You feel the tension in every door opened, every lock pinned, every step closer to the goal, to the end. It's the kind of sequence that like keeps your heart racing without feeling necessarily forced, and it's exactly why this movie earns its reputation as a smart, suspenseful thriller. So the final act shows you why De Niro and Norton are so fun to watch together. Their chemistry really shines under the pressure. On top of that, the movie has some interesting themes. It's really about experience versus ambition. The two characters, they show different sides to this. So Nick represents patience and skill, while Jack is restless and confident and overconfident, actually, not just confident. You get to see how those traits clash and how trust and strategy play a role in high stakes situations. It's also about timing and consequences. A very small mistake could ruin everything. That tension between control and chaos is what makes the movie more than just a heist film. If you really think about it, it's also about a study of people under pressure, or maybe I'm just thinking about it too much. So would I recommend this movie?
Who the fuck is this kid? What the fuck do you know?
For sure, absolutely, I would. Even though, the first slow build might test your patience, let me tell you now, the patience that waits is so worth it. It will pay off. The final heist is thrilling. The performances are top tier, and the film's grounded approach makes it all feel so believable. So for me, I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's above average. It's really above average, but it's also not mind blowing at the same time. But definitely, it's worth your time, and it's definitely rewatchable, especially if you're a person that's into heist movies or like thriller movies. So that's it. That's a wrap for another episode of Conder Cinema Showcase. I'm your host, Jerry. Thank you for tuning in. If you watched this movie, tell me if you like it. Is it more of your pace, or is it just a bit too slow? Give me your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe with your friends, and also hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our next reviews. And if you guys want any reviews specifically, let me know. Thanks again for watching Conder Cinema Showcase. Catch you next time.
Help me, please.
Last Norman?
Yes.